What is the science of reading? This can be a tricky concept to explain, especially if you're trying to explain it to the families of your students. But don't worry, I'm here to help. For several years, I've been talking about the science of reading to basically any adult that will listen. And I basically say it the same exact way, and so I want to share that with you today. I always start with the same question. Do you know why the O in know is long, but the O in not is short? I can tell you that most people don't know the answer to that question, and they almost feel a little bit silly that they don't. The explanation is actually quite simple. In the word know, there's no consonant or group of consonants after the vowel sound, and so that makes it an open syllable, and open syllables have the long vowel sound. In the word not, there is a consonant after the vowel, and that closes that syllable, which then makes it say its short sound. It's literally that simple. But if you didn't know open and closed syllables, how were you able to decode those words? This is where it gets interesting. So what's happening is that for most people, your brain just notices that pattern happens again and again and again, and so it automatically starts applying that pattern wherever it sees fit. But it's not all learners. Many learners won't make those connections, and that will make it extremely hard for them to learn to read. These learners need explicit instruction as to how our language actually works. But really, shouldn't we all know why one O is long and one O is short when it's that simple of a concept? Think about it this way. You can do it in the word know and not on your own, but what about when you get to a really complex word? Like the word onomatopoeia. How are you going to decode that word? That's what the science of reading is. The science of reading is studying how people in general learn to read. It's the academic study of, it's the research, it's the body of knowledge from a science perspective about what happens when people learn to read. The science of reading is making its way into classrooms, and it's kind of challenging what we know as professionals about what works with learning to read and what doesn't. And the syllable example that we talked about earlier, that's just one small instructional change that you might see that we learned from this body of work that's going to make a huge impact on the instruction of our students. And so that's how I explain what the science of reading is to any adult who's wanting to understand a little bit more about why I'm so passionate about this. We also put all of this into a flyer for you so you can easily share it with your families in your class. Just click the link in the bio or search Science of Reading flyer on Simply Kinder.